Greetings and salutations, friends, to this auspicious day. A happy evening indeed, as finally the message has been sent to Creative Assembly. I doubt they've actually been listening, but hey, it's better than nothing.
Yep. But I honestly expect that if Creative Assembly is to do what Creative Assembly does, considering Rome 2, Thrones of Britannia, Empire Total War, and many, many other failings, I expect we'll get the exact same thing. They'll handwave it and move on to the next project.
Oh, I suspect they won't even, they will not even mention this, I think, is what I think is going to happen here. Because Total War Warhammer 3 has finally hit negative reviews. Mostly negative. It's been a little while. It's taken them a while to get there after a pretty awful launch. But a lot of people remained optimistic. There was a lot of noises being made like, oh, it's fine. They'll fix it. They're not going to fix it. They have no intentions of fixing it. This was the last game in the trilogy. Like, they're done. They're out. They've got the money. They're out the door now. Like, they've robbed the bank. It's over.
Yep. The primary team, if I'm to probably guess correctly, and I'm 99% certain of this, has moved on to the next project. The DLC team and / patch team, however big that is that's it. That's all that stays behind. Whatever resources they've allocated to that team will continue to work on this until they're done. And that's it. It's over. How long do you think it'll take the B team to fix it up? I think at least 2 years.
Well, that depends on whether or not they have an interest in even fixing it up. Because, well, the thing was with Rome 2 Total War, right, which was by all accounts a pretty damn impressive, flip operations, because that game too started out in an absolutely awful shape, worse than Warhammer 3. I mean, that game was, parts of it was actually unplayable. Like, the AI wouldn't actually charge your lines. It would run up to you and go like, oh, no, turn around and run back again.
Yep.
And it took them like 6 months to get the game into a playable state. And that was their flagship title. That was what they had to get running at the time. So they continued working on that. This, I don't know if will ever be put into a playable state, because what incentive do they have to place it in a playable state right now?
Oh, they do. I mean, their number one big thing that with this game is they're going to work on a fuck ton of DLC. Because they can milk the ever-living crap out of this. The amount of bundle sales they can do, and the amount of milking they can do post-launch will be incredible. And just like Rome 2. Rome 2 is still, I don't even need to look it up, because I know, it's $60. And plus all its DLC, it's like over 100. Well over. So, it's still like something that they keep milking. In fact, they went back to Rome 2 and made a patch for it, just so they could milk it some more. They threw out some more content for that. That was a couple years back during Three Kingdoms launch, if I remember correctly. Creative Assembly will keep making content for it because as long as it sells. If, for whatever reason, it turns out like Thrones of Britannia, where the sales numbers aren't there and doesn't keep generating sales, they'll drop it like a hot potato. We have proof of that because they've done that historically.
Well, see, I'm not so sure they'll keep supporting this, because I sent you the roadmap there. You can bring that up.
Next is
and
roadmap.
You may notice the only DLC announced is for Q3 2022.
Yep.
I think they'll throw a little bit out there, and they'll see if anyone is dumb enough to buy the Blood Pack for the third time for the same game.
I mean, the Immortal Empires doesn't launch into its beta in 2.0.
Yeah, that's beta.
Yes.
That isn't even functional.
It will not be
beta.
done this year. Like I said, it's a long project. This game is going to probably take a couple of years to get actually operational. That's no excuse. In fact, that's worse, because they're selling it at full retail. Not only selling at full retail, but you know what the store page says? It says it's like a finished product. It doesn't say early access. What they have essentially released on the market is an early access game with DLC that is going to be released before the game's even done.
Oh, that's just part and parcel of living in the modern world, I guess. But again, I'm not so sure they're going to bother putting out all that much DLC for it, just because I think they, well, figure it kind of like I do, that they've got your money now.
I disagree.
What the fuck? What do they care about?
I'm pretty confident they're going to keep milking it, because the DLC does make buckets of money. Especially considering how toxic the DLC policy is for this particular trilogy.
Yeah, but I think they've already made the money they can. And I think, again, I think they would have announced more DLC if they were really planning on pushing it. And I also believe that they know that they've burned some bridges here. Like, I'm pretty sure they released this game fully aware of the backlash that would be generated, and they didn't actually care. Because, again, this was the final game of the series. This was the great Big Bang trilogy of Total War Warhammer 3.
Yep, but I still think it's going to be just like we saw with Rome 2. Because what we're seeing is a repeat of the Rome 2 incident. They're going to milk the ever-living crap out of this thing. This thing is going to get DLC for a long time.
The difference is Rome 2 was a full game. Like,
Rome 2 was a disaster, and it didn't even work.
This here, like, think about what they've gotten away with here.
Yeah, they got away with Rome 2.
No. Like, Rome 2, like, worst case scenario, Rome 2 is a game
that didn't work.
A fair bit of DLC, right?
Yeah, but we got to go by launch, just like this.
No. We're going from, like, the economical perspective here.
Yeah, but that's the same thing that they did with Rome 2. We're going to see an exact repeat of Rome 2 in this one right here.
No, because this isn't a Rome 2. Like, this is much worse. This is... Rome 2, for all of its flaws, was a game. A game with DLC and with an extensive free DLC policy trying to buy back loyalty. This is the third... This is an expansion pack to a game.
It is, but I am 99% confident they're going to continue to pump out DLC for this.
The thing is, I don't think they need to. Right now, putting out DLC for Total War Warhammer 3 is going to be it's probably not going to be a loss to them because the DLC costs nothing to make, but it will be a PR loss. I do believe they recognize that, as right now, any DLC they put out is going to be received extremely negatively, particularly considering the nature of it as well. Because right now, what we've got the Blood Pack, which again, they're expecting you to purchase for a third time.
I know, and
a Lord Pack.
They're releasing 2 DLCs in its early access phase. That's impressive. Mm-hmm. They've one-upped Arc.
In the early access phase of the third game, mind you, the third expansion pack.
Yep, and then we get a free LC Regiments of Renown, which I don't care about because it's just a little
free LC skins
color pack, basically. Yeah. And more content coming in 2023 and beyond. Wow. See, the thing about the beyond in 2023 and even all this crap, I don't care. Like, I played this game, and I hate this game so much. This is not my game.
I'd be genuinely quite surprised if anybody cared, honestly.
Honestly, the campaign is awful. Like, the big thing from the people I've talked to that still simp for this and that have switched the reviews to negative and will switch them back to positive is that Immortal Empires thing. If they fuck up the beta for that, that's gonna be the real kick in the balls right there.
Possibly, but I am hoping that this will have some long-term consequences, because the problem is the reason why Creative Assembly manages to get away with this, and this is, make no mistake, this is by far the most egregious thing they have done. Again, Rome 2 was just a game. It was unfinished. It was downright unfunctional, absolutely, but at least it was just a game.
How many years did it take? Do you remember?
Oh, just 6 months to make it, like, playable, but probably a year to make it what it should have been.
I remember this because I played that piece of shit game, because that was right after I got dumped, and I was like, oh, Rome 2, this'll cheer me up. Yeah, no. I remember playing that, and I remember it wasn't until patch number 17, Emperor Edition patch, was when the game was finally serviceable. Everything up until that point, broken, buggy, co-op campaign, desyncs. Oh, I've spent so many hours. I've spent 1,000 hours plus in Rome 2. I know that game too well, and I hate it.
Well, you can't expect it to be bug-free, Kyle. I mean, come on.
It's not just... I'm not talking about, like, bug-free. I'm talking about, like, oh, I want to attack this city, and then the AI just sits there. Or the one time I attack a city and their little fleet comes in, and their fleet forms up into a smiley face off the coast and stops. And I didn't enable the battle timer. So that was the end of that campaign.
Yeah, I learned that lesson in Shogun too. Battle timer goes on now.
Battle timer always goes on. I was like, battle timer unlimited, so I can have like 7-hour battles. It'll be sick with massive skirmish. No. If it's gone past 30 minutes, it's probably broken.
In fact, it's almost certainly broken.
My God.
Because it is absolutely the fucking fandom that has allowed this to happen. A $60 DLC that doesn't work. And again, I can't hammer that point enough. You literally cannot hammer that point home enough. This is the third expansion pack to a game that has been out for years now. Mm-hmm. It still doesn't work.
It's broken. It's embarrassing, and it's so just it's one of those things. Like, yes, Rome 2 was broken for I think 3 years. This game, Total War Warhammer, has been out for longer than 3 years now. In fact, I'm kind of curious, but I'm pretty sure it came out in like 2016 or 17, if I remember right. It's been out for a while, so let's see when the first one launched. Yeah, they've made alterations to the engine, but this is actually just downright May 24th, 2016 was the launch of the first Total War Warhammer game. Yeah, so this thing has had plenty of time to build on this engine and make it stable and pre-plan everything. They've had almost a decade now of years, which is absurd. Like, we're going into a decade of development when it comes to the Total War Warhammer trilogy, which is laughable. It's going to be... I wouldn't be surprised if it made it to a decade before it's finally abandoned. But good God. And the fact that we're like 6 years into this development cycle, and this game is just unworkable. They can't finish the Immortal Empires campaign. Like, it's just a travesty. The bugs, the balance issues, it's just not workable.
And that's the beauty of it. CA are out the door. They've gotten everyone's money. Now they're done. They can pack it up, and they have earned unfathomable amounts of cash on this. And again, I'm pretty sure they knew they'd be burning some bridges with this release, but is it going to matter? Because Creative Assembly's fans tends to have a frighteningly short memory.
That's actually completely true. Let's check the most recent Total War game, Three Kingdoms, right? Now, there was a huge uproar about the game's development being cut in mid-process. Yep, you can even see that still, where they censored the reviews when they ceased development of the game. Which, I don't even... Oh, that's another thing, right? Like, I can get, like, censoring reviews because of political reasons, because a developer had some sort of thing, and so they're getting, dogpiled over something silly, right? But the problem is review bombing actually serves a purpose. And the ability to just censor it when they've ceased development of this game that was supposed to be the complete Three Kingdoms era and doesn't even have Three Kingdoms in it, just so that they can transition into making a Three Kingdoms 2 and following the Total War Warhammer formula, that's also a disastrous thing. Like, they have not a very good track record. What came before Three Kingdoms? Wasn't that Thrones of Britannia? But for Total War Warhammer, right? That was a disaster too. That got abandoned. And before that was Attila. They abandoned that too before they was finished fixing that. Oh my goodness.
The overwhelming majority of but Three Kingdoms reviews, negative reviews, have been flagged as off-topic review activity.
Despite it being actually based in the fact that this game was supposed to include all this stuff. Like, the creative director for this game was hinting, like, we're going to add Korea, and there was hints about Mongolia dropping, and even, like, a Roman legion or something like that, references to. Like, it was pretty cool. It was getting exciting, actually. And then And then they're like, "Oh, we're stopping the project. We're gonna make a second Three Kingdoms." And that's when the reviews, those negative reviews, came from, and that's when they censored them too. So,
this is also why the whole off-topic review thing is an awful idea and extraordinarily anti-consumer, because who the fuck determines what is off-topic? In this case, them seizing development of a game, leaving it half-finished, to make another full-price installment is considered off-topic.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Total War Warhammer has, I think, done this to the franchise. I wouldn't be surprised if they do multi-installments for everything now.
It was absolutely a Total War Warhammer, because Total War Warhammer taught them that they can get away with releasing expansion packs for full price without even finishing them. Like, why the hell would they add big actual expansions to Total War Three Kingdoms when they can simply just sell you the same game again?
Man, it sucks, doesn't it? Because what do we have for alternatives for a 4X RTS hybrid like this? Nothing. Nothing I can think of. Like Sword of the Stars, that's dead and gone.
I'm sure Songs of Six will eventually pick up the pace.
Oh yeah, that's
to be fair. They recently released a battle patch, which allows you to have massive ass formations and full-on battles.
Yeah, Songs of Six actually looks pretty cool. I know it's a bit off topic, but I will pull it up in the background for chat.
It is an extraordinarily autistic little video game that, well, it's Dwarf Fortressy in its size. It's going to be a while before it's done, but the guy making it does have some really incredibly cool plans, and he did just finish the actual battle system where you have entire battle formations, entire armies, and each and every single soldier is a part of your city, which is very, very cool.
Yes, that is actually interesting. I didn't think we were going to talk about a little indie game on the side. Isn't that tragic? The only thing good we have to say is the indies. We can't say that the AAAs are doing anything good. What a tragedy. Turns out money doesn't guarantee success after all.
Very weird. Very strange. Very odd. The question, though, remains, will any lessons be learned from Total War Warhammer 3? I don't think so. Like, I don't think this is a big enough failure. Because we've been saying for ages now, the only way the Creative Assembly will turn around and change their ways is if they get a big enough failure. This isn't big enough. In fact, I'm pretty sure they knew this was going to happen and wrote this off as just a little bit of damage to the fandom for another full-priced installment.
Yep. And that's the thing. I think people are too forgiving, just like you said, to echo it a bit. Like, a lot of the people I know, and I'm not going to name names to put pressure on them, but I kind of want to, but I'm going to resist. Like, a lot of them, are like, the minute they announced the roadmap, a lot of them are like, well, you know, at least they're working on it. It's like, yeah, well, you know, maybe they shouldn't charge $60 and release an unfinished mess. And at least be honest and tell us that, hey, this game is a work in progress. No, you can't just lie to everyone and say that, well, it's a full, complete product. It's Total War 3. It's got all the stuff of the other ones, except you buy it. Remember that? I remember that stupid ad campaign. It's like pieces of a puzzle. You buy it and you put it together. And what do you get? A broken piece of crap. This jigsaw puzzle don't work when you put it all together.
Not to mention, it really is beautiful, isn't it, that we've arrived at the year where you are actually being sold pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Like,
that was a marketing campaign.
Meme back in the day for DLC. Like, eventually this is what they'll do, and people are like, ha, ha, ha. They'll never be that crazy. Mm-hmm.
Arch is absolutely right. I remember that meme too. I can't remember. It's like a cheeseburger meme, right? It's like, oh, this part is like the quests, and the cheese is the combat system, and the lettuce is that. Paradox already does that with their games. It's like, oh, you want the spy mechanic? You better get the spy DLC. You want to have logistics in your World War II game? Better get the logistics DLC. It's like, good God. Everything's incomplete nowadays. It's tragic. It's not like they're adding expansion packs with new content to build on top of a solid foundation. They're adding basic content to fill the gaps in their empty-ass game.
It's a bit of a problem, and yet I doubt it's going to change. Like, I do not think this will be a big enough impact on CA to see any real changes whatsoever. It'll probably be the exact same damn thing. And when they announce the next game, everyone will be just as hyped because I got a feeling they're going to go for a crowd pleaser up next. Something stupid like Shogun 3 or something.
Oh my god. No, see, we've already got a Shogun 3. Like, give us... see, if I were to be realistic, I would really kill for a Victoria Total War.
Not gonna happen.
I know. Because that would... a Victoria Total War would require the entire globe. But another Empire would be great. I do not think they can handle a Medieval. Medieval 3 and the Warscape engine might as well be suicide. The only thing the Warscape engine can do alright-ish is gun warfare, and that was only proven by Fall of the Samurai, not by Empire. And Napoleon was at least workable, but they disabled the basic bitch functions of, like, all the other mechanics.
Well, the thing is, like, back in the day when I was a naive young child, I would say that they would never do a medieval unless they were sure they could pull it off and make it a good game.
That's true. But
I don't think that's a fact anymore.
Yeah. Also, we found the meme, but yeah, I don't think so either.
I think they would quite happily sell you a shitty Medieval 3. I do not believe for an instance anymore that they would care. They have no more professional pride in what they're doing at all.
Oh, Jesus. I can't believe. As a little kid, I remember playing, like, Rome 1 on my computer. It was one of my first PC games I'd ever gotten. And I was like, this is gonna be so cool. Like, in 10 years, in 20 years from now, like, this, like, oh my god, it'll be, like, real. Now we play it, and the units get stuck on edges still, and they have more problems, and there's less content, there's less detail, and it costs more for some reason. What is happening? We got the wrong timeline. We gotta go back.
Don't worry. We're just about at the top of the hill now. Soon it'll be year 2000 again.
Just resets and be like, wow, games are great again. Be like, what happened? It was just a bad dream.
It'll happen. And part of the reason why I believe that is the Sonic movie. But before that, let me go through the super chats because we actually got it covered before we even started, so they've already waited for long enough. Laura the Possum says, hi Arch, and make sure to like the video chat. That is correct. Lord of the Possum is a good person. He tells people to do what they should do. And King Butterton, hi Art and Kibbs, this is unrelated to the topic, but have you ever read Galaxy's Edge? It's like the best part of pre-Disney Star Wars, and Halo had a baby, even has a war game they just released rules for.
Galaxy's Edge sounds familiar. I think...
Yes, it's the Star Wars hotel.
This is a joke. They fucked us. It's the Star Wars hotel? Which one of you said that? I'm banning you. This sounds familiar, though. I thought the Galaxy Edge thing was like its own book series. I guess not.
It is. It is also a like a different setting. Basically.
Oh my god! It's gotten buried by the. Oh, that's cancer.
Yep.
That sucks for them.
It is actually kind of beautiful. It has been actively buried by Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Here it is. I'm pulling it up for you, chap. You just type in Galaxy's Edge book, and you'll get the actual stuff to pop up. Galaxy's Edge Star Wars, like Arch just said, has been completely buried by the hotel crap. That sucks, dude. Oh, man. Because they've been working on this for longer than that shitty hotel has existed. And to have all your work just buried in the search results? Oh, no.
Now, I haven't looked at it much. Like, I've just seen it briefly, and my first impression was perhaps a bit too inspired by Star Wars in particular for me, but who knows? I have not looked into it enough to know if that is a accurate impression or not.
Yeah, I guess it really depends, because when you get a universe, you have to be like, ooh, is it like... When I think of Star Wars, I think of Star Wars. I don't really think of its inspirations because it stands out on its own, right? When I think of Warhammer, I think of, Dune, because, But you know what I mean, right? You don't want to think about these IPs, and you want to be like, oh yeah, that's distinct. Like, I'm not immediately going like, this is just Halo, or this is just Starship Troopers,
That is a big part as well. Or, this is just that Disney hotel.
This is just the Galaxy's Edge Hotel. Man, that sucks for these poor guys. Like, damn. Imagine naming your IP. See, that's why you got to come up with a really weird name that no one would have picked. Like, ever.
Yes. Like, well, you can always sue Disney.
Good luck. That's not gonna go well.
The worst case scenario is, of course, that Disney one day realizes, watch this. Smells like an IP infringement, but we're doing something completely different. We don't care.
Yep, that happened to BattleTech, actually, with the battle droids, when Lucas is like, I want copyright droids, and then he's like, battle droids. And then they're like, guess we's changing the name.
Mech Warrior.
That's the Microsoft video game license.
Mech Warrior.
It's a different entity. But it's also the same, it's weird.
Black 1917 says, Squeck and Hey Large Christ, our Lord and Savior, Breed Gibbs. Won't be able to catch the whole cast because I'm going to a concert. I'll catch the VOD. Concerts. Concerts are for great people.
Yeah, you want to socially interact, maybe hook up with somebody? Pfft, gross.
At a concert?
You can.
You have very different concerts than we have over here. They tend to be just giant stewed together piles of people.
Yeah, but you interact. You see a cute girl and you walk up and you're like, you put the moves on. Arch.
America's a weird country.
How else you gonna ever get a girlfriend if you don't talk to Whammonses?
Order one from the Philippines like a normal, respectable Norwegian.
Oh my god, you freaking savage. He's like, I don't need to seduce them. Here's my money.
Listen, just like you pick up cats from the cat shelter, you pick up women from the Philippines, because they have a hard life, alright?
It's the hard knock Dave for us. Yes, I guess. I mean, it's a chain of islands, man. It's hot, it's humid, it's wet. Bugs.
Chloe says, when will AAA game developers just sell the title screen as the game itself, then charge you DLC for each level plus commercials every 5 minutes? I mean, you joke, but it's pretty much where we are heading. Oh, DLC was a goddamn mistake. But it's not one that we can fix, so stuck with it now. Forever. Forever and ever. And ever and ever and ever. And ever and ever and ever.
Go on.
Just Purdy. Will you consider doing a Manor Lords review when it comes out? It looks like it may be a good competitor for the Total War series. I will indeed do a Manor Lord review, presuming I don't die of old age in the meanwhile.
Yeah, this game, I'm gonna be brutally honest. There's very little information about it, and not only is there, well, I think there's more. I haven't read in a while.
It exists primarily as a proof of concept right now.
Yes.
Like it's got a little bit of combat. It's got a couple of commands you can see, and you got some screenshots. Like, I hope it's good. It looks good, but yeah.
Yep, I'm a little. I've heard some people say that they think the footage is pre-scripted, which would be bad if true. But I wouldn't be surprised entirely either. So I'm skeptical. I very much want it to be, but I wouldn't hold out hope.
Just to have a little peek at it. Let's see. Is anything?
I pulled it up so chat can just watch it in the background.
Has anything new occurred on the Manor Lords front? Not really. No, I remember seeing this. Fucking year ago, maybe more. Yeah. Again, I sure as hell hope it's good. I hope and pray, but until something actually emerges, I'm going to temper my optimism with good old-fashioned pessimism.
A little bit of pessimism never hurt anybody. It just saved you some money normally.
I do hope it's good though. Like, because
it would
again,
be good
what we've seen so far, I really like it. Like the charge impact mechanic, for example, looks like what Total War should have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, if it could just do it right, it have unit mass, unit density. Like, remember Rome 1, high veterancy units your Romans would actually form a line, a single file line, and create gaps in between each other to allow skirmishers to move through them. There was unit collision. There was all these mechanics based around units, how well their formations were. Their formations they would be in a formation. Low veterancy would be a little bit looser when combat went, and if they had higher veterancy, they would hold their formation longer. So many little details and little things that affected the actual field of battle that made it really cool and immersive.
Yep. No, it's got some great potential. We'll just have to see where it goes from there and how many decades it takes for it to eventually arrive.
I hope it comes out. That'd be nice.
Zontar, how can Arch be aware of Macross and think 7 million ships is big by sci-fi standards? Nuns Earth fleet alone is 1 million ships. Enter have billions. Macross is a dumbass Japanese thing where they just put numbers on a board, okay?
This is unironically a problem with a lot of settings where they're like, this empire has 75,000 starships, and then you look at it, it's a galactic spanning empire. It's like, so you can maybe have one in a cluster of 100 solar systems if you're lucky. Okay.
Plus, Macross is also a universe in which all of those starships are completely, utterly fucking pointless because the strongest weapon in the universe is song.
Oh, that's the one where they sing.
That's the one where they sing.
In the arms of the angel. I don't know what the song is.
The Grizzly says, all I have to say about Warhammer 3 is Yarhara flippers dee-doo. I want because pirates are free, you are a pirate. Sure. Okay. Here's one thing too I want to say, right? The fucking Gundam series, alright? One of the things that always annoyed me so enormously about Gundam is that the mobile suits are just so much better than all of their warships. Like, it's hilarious. Their warships are useless, as the mobile suits are just better, faster, cheaper, seemingly have better weapons. Warships, worthless. I would actually really love to see more Gundam with less fucking Gundams. Because a space action style series with actual ships fighting is so rare. The Japanese always have to put some ginormous robot in there. Oh, that's what I loved with the banner. Oh, goddamn. Banner of the Stars. If anyone hasn't watched Banner of the Stars, it is a very old anime now. It looks awful. It's just in the wrong period of anime where it was transitioning away from those incredibly beautiful and high detailed hand-drawn animations and moving more towards the mass-produced animations of today. So it's the worst of both worlds, basically.
Yeah, here, that box art looks a little better. But some of the box art on that does not look particularly great.
Yeah, no, the art style is not good for the Banner of the Stars anime. The manga art style is much better because it's cleaner and more stylized, but it ain't translated and it ain't gonna get translated. But anyway, it was a really good anime, and it had a really interesting combat system where essentially all of the various factions traveled faster than light by creating bubbles of energy around their ships. And these bubbles could be merged together in larger bubbles, so you could have tons of ships in individual bubbles. And the only way to do space combat was within these bubbles, basically. Because in real space, everyone had railguns and shit that just destroy the other fleet in like a millisecond, so it's pointless. Like, neither side could fight decently because the weapons were that fucking lethal. Whereas in the slipspacey kind of thing, they had to fire like depth charges almost with missiles that had their own bubbles that joined with the other ship's bubbles. And ships also could enter each other's bubbles and hit and run raids and then exit the bubbles again. It was really cool and unique space combat that I've never seen ever again, basically.
It also says Legend of the Galactic Heroes as well.
Yeah, but like it's not bad. And it's currently getting kind of reanimated, but it's also very much so an old-style Keikakudori anime, where just things get a little bit too stupid occasionally for me.
It's like, all just according to my super overtly complicated plan.
Yeah, it's very much so one of those like, oh, we're losing the battle awfully. Yes, but if I take command and do this, this, and that, like, oh my god, now we're winning.
We're winning, but not only winning, we're winning decisively.
Yep, pretty much. Maranga 2 says, Dev shall be streaming shortly and taking your viewers. On another note, would you ever make an asset you commissioned for the Skaven RP available to download? Question mark.
Technically, all the art is available. If you go to Arch's Discord, the fan art section, you can click on it and click Open Original, if I remember on Discord, then right-click Save Image.
Also, Dev isn't streaming, he's premiering. He's become the...
Ugh, cringe. See, I tried the Premiere system with like some of the music we made for our game, and the Premiere opening thing makes me want to gouge my ears out. It's like, bleep, bleep, bleep. It's, oh, no. It spoils the entire, like, mood.
I'm not fond of Premiere things myself. I did it like a couple of times, like with Rax and Badab, but it's just like... See, I still don't really like the idea of super chats because it's like you pay to have messages read. I get it. It's personal attention, it's interaction with the audience, it's all good, but it still reminds me a bit too much of those old school send SMS to TV person things as thingy bobs. But I've accepted it. Premieres, however, is just super chats except without the interaction part. Like, why? I will never understand YouTube.
Arch is breaking under the weight of his own tisms. About time.
But that's fine, though. Black917 says, Hi, Opossum, how have you been? They're communicating. Maranga2 also says, The party meets an eccentric traveling skink priest. Greeting lizards thing, says Kosnicket. Looks peckable, says Rosgottle, the skink priest. It's true, that did happen.
Rosa
the first communication I had from Rosa
was
that Kyle was peggable.
Happens sometimes. But only sometimes.
Glow in the Dark says, Kibbs went off topic with indie game, ban him. It's a bit harsh.
Too bad. Get over it. Get good, scrub.
And a bit of internet bloodsport and drama before we get to Sonic 2 as well. As Mark Shame says, Angry Joe had all his Halo and Star Trek Picard videos claimed by CBS.
Wow. Okay. Is he going to dispute it?
Well, he probably is going to dispute it, because this happened a little while ago where some of his stuff was claimed, and it appeared to be manual, because it was like manual review stuff.
Somebody's salty in their office, like, no, you can't. See, the thing is, everybody's taking the piss on their show, and it's garbage. They're trying to censor
but the
critics.
Thing is, you got to be strategic with this, right? Because Pissed Pablo still has a pretty damn hefty following. He's got a lot of influence. So if you can just shut him up for a little while, you can probably trick more people to watching Halo for at least a short while. It's not going to work in the long run, but immediately.
I now understand what the little Moringa 2 whore is talking about. I had to call him that because he's been sassy lately. So, what Moringa 2 means is he's talking about the assets, not about the fan arts, but actually about the little icons and stuff. Because I know some people have been asking, like, oh, can we get those? Because they think they're really cool. What's up, Arch? He paid for them.
Well, I haven't even considered that. Maybe I'll do it like a Patreon release at some point.
Yes, exclusivity. Good.
Didn't even think about it, really. But, yes, Angry Joe is not particularly happy about this, as he should be, not particularly happy about this, as he is being targeted for being a naughty little boy. And, see, this is kind of my problems with Angry Joe, Pissed Pablo.
God damn.
He's been on a bit of both sides in all of this, because he's been fine with censorship in the past. Now, he hasn't particularly minded it, but he doesn't like it when it happens to him from a big corporation. It's like, okay, well, I mean, this is kind of your bed that you have kind of made over the years. And he's also been flipping a bit back and forth, where on the one hand, you can absolutely trust him on certain games and certain titles, and he will be a very harsh critic on certain things. And at other times, too, there have been some rumors that he has gotten awfully chummy with various people within game development. So, mm, mm.
Yeah, I don't actually know that much about the Angry Joe. I remember watching him when I was but a wee lad, around the Sins of a Solar Empire and Rome 2 days.
I do suspect that he's had a little bit of a change of heart in recent years, though, because he did get accused of sexual harassment, I think.
I remember.
Yeah, that whole thing popped up, and he was shocked and outraged, as he should be. And he did the right thing, which was aggressively say, like, no, I never did this, and basically threaten a woman with a lawsuit. As you should. But this is also the same Angry Joe who was a bit on the whole believe all women bandwagon for a while there, so I don't know. I haven't watched him for years now, so I couldn't tell you what state he's in now. But seeing as he's being currently targeted by the large corporations, it may very well be that he's starting to see our side of the story.
Corporations are attacking him? He might be based if that's true. I like how that's the standard we have reached today. But I'm not surprised, because corporations are #evil now. Just like in the cartoons.
Sometimes, people just have to get burned a little bit to figure out what's going on. In the case of Angry Joe, I do suspect getting accused of sexual harassment probably was a bit of a, oh, wait, hold on. They can lie. Yes, they can.
Yeah, they can, and they'll do it with a friggin' smile, too. Sick bastards.
All the Amber Heard trials. Oh, God. That was cancerous. Right. Sonic. Sonic. Let's talk a bit about Sonic. Now, Kyle is a boring goddamn normie, because he's like, I don't like Sonic. I don't want to watch Sonic movies, which is weird.
Have you watched it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm actually surprised. It's on my
first one too.
It's on my. No, I have to disable my ad blocker. No, it's on my list actually. I intend to watch them, but I have yet to get around it. I've been getting through old action movies I've never seen that Arch keeps yelling at me about. What was that one?
I still can't believe you didn't watch Demolition Man until like this year.
I saw Demolition Man, and then everyone was happy.
Disgusting.
Then they found out I'd never seen Die Hard, and then we had to watch that.
Oh, God. You haven't watched fucking
I've seen so much, but apparently I missed even more. The list honestly just keeps growing. They're like, you haven't seen this action movie? And this entire franchise with all 9 movies? It's like, oh, here we go.
You're a fetus.
We're catching up. We're getting there. But Sonic's on the list.
Let me guess, you've never watched Ace Ventura either.
What?
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective?
Nope. Sounds familiar, though. Is that like Jesse Ventura? Or whatever his name was? Oh, no. I think he was the governor of Minnesota.
You're making me reconsider my choice of co-host.
Yes. Suffer as I have suffered.
Okay, so Ace Ventura was a little series of movies. I think was there 3? There were 3 Ace Ventura movies. It's been a while, but no, it was just 2. I think it was just 2 Ace Ventura movies. But the main character was Jim Carrey, who at the time had an absolutely enormous career, like genuinely, absolutely enormous goddamn career. He was blowing up, and he was in everything for a while there. Like, all of the big budget shows had to have Ace Ventura. That's why he showed up in Batman Forever, because he was the hottest fucking shit on the globe practically at the time. And he made a name for himself playing characters that were very over the top and like really, really, really getting into it. You didn't watch The Cable Guy either, did you?
The what?
Yeah, I figured so.
We have a lot of movies to watch. The list keeps growing bigger.
It culminated, I think, with the Truman Show, which was the biggest thing in the world for a brief period there. And after that, after I think there was also Bruce Almighty, but that was kind of when he was beginning to be a little bit more on the downturn, really, the bit of the heading downwards. Because in 2007, 8, 9 odd, he went fucking crazy, like actually, literally fucking insane.
Yeah,
and he just disappeared completely. And he's only recently been staging a little bit of a comeback, primarily because of Sonic the Hedgehog. That was his first like return role where he played Dr. Robotnik. And he was fucking great because he was old Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey is fucking funny when he wants to be.
Yes. I've seen a bit of Jim Carrey, a couple movies of his, and they're pretty good. That's the guy, I'm trying to remember. That's the guy who had the really bad paintings, right? He went through a painting phase?
I think he did have a painting phase.
I don't know what it is with like actors or politicians like, I'm gonna have a painting phase, but like their painting phase is just really bad. It's like, dude, just take some basic anatomy courses, something.
I'm not too familiar with his painting phase, but he had a singing phase, which was
God help me,
not good.
God help me.
Here, let me see if I can't.
Oh no!
Yep, here we go. There you go.
That's an image I never thought I would see.
But now you have seen it.
That's definitely Jim Carrey. Look at him, and he's singing there, like unironically, like. Okay. All right.
Yep.
It's not something I think he'd be good at personally, but I'm not an expert on these things.
He also had a little bit of a period there as a producer of bad stuff, basically.
Every actor does it. It feels like, doesn't it? It's like, I'm an actor, so therefore I can produce too. It's like, maybe not.
Yep. It wasn't good. Like again, the last like 10 years of Jim Carrey's career has not been very good. It's just yeah. But then Sonic the Hedgehog came along, and everyone remembers the initial outrage about Sonic's original design. Let me see if I can find the original design here, because it was... yep, there we go. There we fucking go.
Oh, God, yeah. I was trying to think, like, yeah. The teeth. Oh, I'm so glad.
The fucking teeth.
You know... My God. What's wrong with the lips? It's just all sorts of uncanny. It's not even funny. But it kind of is.
It was wrong on just like every single solitary level. Like it was terrible. Like his proportions were all wrong. His face was just
look at his teeth.
Like the teeth were bad enough. Like it looks like a human in a fursuit screaming.
Oh
this
my
was
God!
Like, here,
I remember this.
Look at this one. Look at how like weirdly thin he is. Like look at how furry his fucking hands are in this weird offsetting kind of way.
Oh, that's no, that's just the hands are creepy. Everything about it's creepy. Yeah,
the hands are creepy.
I remember this.
The eyes are small and dead and unexpressive. They just like, look at you now.
And they redid the whole thing thanks to outcry. This is why it's so important to be vocal. And that's actually that's something they should be applauded. Today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. The fact that they listened to fans and what people wanted and were willing to change it, that is something that should be commended.
Yeah, because people hated this fucking look, and for
good reason.
Like,
it's awful.
Here's another beautiful one where his nose just looks like a piece of rock that has embedded himself in its face.
Jesus Christ. It's like they didn't even try. Like, look at his hair. It looks matted. He looks all greasy and dirty. Like, Sonic is supposed to be like, I played the Sonic games as a kid on my mom's Sega Genesis that I borrowed and still have. Like, it's not him. Ugh.
It was just weird. It was just such a fucking weird design. And again, people yelled at them like nobody's business, and it eventually resulted in the complete redesign, which, just look at this one here. The difference is so goddamn obvious.
Damn, there's
the
Sonic.
redesigned Sonic, he looks expressive, like his eyebrows. You can see, like, he's afraid. Like, there's a shocked expression, whereas the other one is like the...
Yep. The other one also has way too much detail, I think.
Yes, like, again, I point you back to the creepy hands version. This Sonic has just the clean white gloves. No furry hands, just the clean white gloves.
My God. Yeah, that's the way Sonic looks. Cause yes, he has the clean gloves, like the white gloves. He doesn't have these creepy little fluffy hand things.
Yep, his eyes are much larger, much closer to the original, much more expressive. His teeth have been scaled down a bit. His tongue is no longer weirdly human and realistic. And the fur. That's the biggest change of them all. On the first figure, the fur is everywhere. It's like somebody was playing with the fur tool in Maya and just like, my God, this is fantastic, and turn it up on everything.
They're like, what if I
Meanwhile,
make it
the redesign, there's almost none. Like, the only like proper fur, there's a little bit on his shoulders and chest, and a little bit on his spikes, but none on his face.
Yeah, that's much better because it has that stylistic feel. Otherwise, you're falling into the trap of the Uncanny Valley, where you're trying to be stylized, but you're trying to be realistic, and it's in between, and it's bad, and it's creepy. It's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. And they listened to that feedback, and instead of getting butthurt about it, instead of getting all gay or saying, sexist or attacking my hedgehog or something dumb like that, they decided to listen. And they were rewarded in spades. Sonic the Hedgehog became one of the highest grossing video game movies ever. Like, I think it became the highest. And now Sonic 2 has grossed even more than that again. Like, they are being rewarded with hundreds of millions of dollars just flooding into their coffers because they made a Sonic movie that was a Sonic movie. Like, it's so fucking simple and yet so goddamn difficult, apparently.
Yeah. It's really shown, like, actually, wait, hold on. Sonic 2. Sonic 2, I thought Jim Carrey had said something about after the Will Smith thing. I just had a random memory about him. He's saying he was maybe thinking about quitting acting again.
Yes, he didn't have a little thing with the Will Smith thing where he basically said that, like, actors are no longer actors. Like, we're no longer the moral leaders we once were. And this shows that the spell has been fully broken. Like, he had a very good take on it, honestly. And he didn't really want to be associated with actors anymore. And to be fair, that has kind of been a thing throughout his career. Like, he has never really been fond of actors and acting necessarily. And you can also see this in all of his roles. He is not a traditional actor. He plays over-the-top, crazy characters to have fun and absurdity with it. He thinks the acting class takes itself far too seriously, by and large.
Yeah, honestly, that's actually a pretty reasonable outlook that he has. That's strange that he went crazy there for a bit. And I also have a picture from Squealy Kitty, also known as Reguline, for his art phase. I will pull it up for chat, and then we'll proceed to send it to you.
His art phase.
I'm expressive.
Whoa. Well, the one on the presentation thingy bob bibbity bob bob in the background there. That one's not bad. Like, Bruce Lee, the yellow and the teal and the the pink. It's a little bit of salt on the senses.
The color choice is, in my opinion, the color choice is horrendous. But
it stands out. At least.
I mean, it's unfocused, but I see some apparent problems with the eyes, nose, and just the spacing
his nose
of the
is
mouth.
Very large. But like that one isn't that bad. Like I could look at that and go like, yeah, that's certainly a thing. The flowers though, the flowers, Jim. What is with the flowers? The flowers are weird.
No, Squilly, we don't need more. It's fine. He's like, I can get more.
The flowers are weird.
I can get more. That's enough Jim Carrey art for one lifetime.
when Jim Carrey gets into a role, he is absolutely the life and soul of a movie. Because I'll say this much too: the Sonic 1 and 2 are both watched now. Sonic is not particularly fucking interesting, honestly. Like his gags are very old and most often of the time fall very flat. Like this is one arena in which Sonic could require a little bit of modernization. He has some decent gags surrounding his speed occasionally, but a lot of it is not very good. It is some hard childish cringe, and not even good childish cringe, the kind where you can look at a kid and go like, you would probably enjoy this little retarded version of myself. No, it's just not very good. But Robotnik, both in the first and second movie, is the fucking highlight. And I was finding myself skipping through the second one, going like, "Where's Robotnik? There he is. Watch this." Dang. Because they're great. And Idris Elba as Knuckles too is the weirdest fucking combination of voice actor and character I have ever seen, and it's beautiful.
Idris Elba, I think I remember him. He's got a very pronounced jawline, right?
Yes, he is a massive, massive dude. Massive.
Yep.
I've heard him referred to as an African American, which amuses the fuck out of me because he's not American.
That's strange. Where'd you from? I don't know.
Oh, he's British.
British? Oh.
Yeah. So Idris Elba is fucking great. I love him.
Didn't know.
I remember I was stuck in this was years ago. This was during like the latter stage of Gamergate. I remember being in a but call with a bunch of people with Boogie in there. The 2988 Boogie, you know, the weird one. And he brought up Idris Elba. I was like, Idris Elba is a wonderful African American. I was like, he's not American though. And I shit you not, this person had to think for like 5 minutes to figure out what to call him. Because he couldn't just call him a black man. Like, that didn't work. He couldn't call him just a British man. He had to find some way of working together his race and his nationality somehow. It was dumb. It was very dumb.
Yeah, that's strange, but okay.
That aside, Idris Elba is really fucking cool. And he has a fucking amazing voice. And seeing that voice and knowing it emits from this enormous dude was the weirdest thing ever. Because he's playing Knuckles. He's a tiny little red retarded hedgehog thingity-bob with Idris Elba's voice. It is weird.
But I could kind of see Idris Elba, because Knuckles is supposed to be like the very like strong, if I remember right. Like he's very much what's the word? Not forward thinking, but the word is
he's a retard.
Strength. He's brawn over brains.
No, he's a retard.
That's mean, but yes.
No, it's not mean.
I was trying to be.
It is an accurate depiction of the characters. In the Sonic 2 movie, Robotnik brings up a hologram of Sonic and goes like, "This is our enemy," and Knuckles just breaks the entire table and goes like, "Tiny magic squirrel defeated. Now what?"
That's more of a throwaway gag line, but that sounds funny.
He's still retarded.
Knuckles
He's still retarded. Okay.
It's called an echidna. Quit being nerds. See, I don't even remember the actual Sonic lore. I remember the video games as a kid because I thought they were cool, like Sonic Adventures and stuff like that. but I don't remember. I don't remember like the deep lore that the Sonic universe has. I was like, what? Why is there deep lore to this?
The issue is the Sonic movies, right? Because they do a lot of things very, very, very right when it comes to making them Sonic movies. Like they've got Dr. Robotnik with ridiculous toys, with ridiculous super robots, and they're chasing after Sonic things like Chaos Emeralds, and you've got Knuckles in it and Tails in it, shit. And all of this is correct, but my god, would I prefer to see a Dr. Robotnik movie or a Knuckles movie? Because Sonic is fucking boring. I hate Sonic. Sonic is not fun.
Sonic is the kid's character. He's there for the kids, and we're the adults, so we understand that the villains are the heroes now.
Maybe. Because I would
That's
watch
always
an
how it
entire
is.
Knuckles movie with just him trying to adapt to human life and doing retarded things. That'd be wonderful. Maybe we could have what we need is, we need a Knuckles multiverse movie where he can fight Uganda Knuckles. That'd be great.
Uganda Knuckles. Oh,
You
yes.
don't know Uganda
The click
Knuckles.
thingies. I was like, Uganda Knuckles? Like, what? Like, I'm just trying to think of, like, a meme. First thing comes to mind is the clicking, and then the, you know the way. Oh, you do not know the way.
You do not know the way.
know the
Uganda
way.
Knuckles was funny.
And then they spit at people. I remember that. I remember that because I knew a lot of people that did VR chat, and I knew that those people did not like the Knuckles people. To be fair, I find it hilarious though. They just like came in like a wave of tisms.
It was pretty adorable.
The way, you know the way. Yes. God, that feels like ages ago. When did that
appeared out
happen?
of nowhere and it disappeared into nowhere very quickly.
Uganda Knuckles. Yeah. And even Uganda, that's right. Oh, my memories are coming back now. Uganda, they actually had, they had like a little painting or mural of the Uganda Knuckles. They're like, yay, Uganda relevant in world now. Oh, it feels kind of sad. But hey, at least they were relevant, you know? And it's a positive thing, too. It's a happy little meme. Worst thing that happens is they spit at you if you don't know the way.
Was it very happy?
You know, the more I think about it, Ugandan Knuckles are actually a bunch of simps because they're looking for a queen, if I remember right. My queen. Yes. It all makes sense now, chat. Uh-oh, they're trying to spit at me. It's okay. I'm safe. Patio door's closed.
But to return to the point, what the wider industry really should be learning from this is that if you make a fucking product for the people who enjoy the product, odds are you will sell product.
Yeah. You'd think.
What a strange and unusual concept this truly is. And the worst part is too, the Sonic movies are currently being lambasted by every critic ever. Like, I think it had like 44 score on Metacritic because the snooty ass cocksuckers over there, like, this isn't talking about racism at all.
Actually, I heard from some people, and I didn't see the show, so I can't really fully comment, but I heard from some people that they did find the Sonic story. Movie, whatever. They found the story to be kind of boring, besides Robotnik. Like, he was the highlight.
Sonic is not good. Sonic is not a particularly fun character.
I mean, he never was. Like, I remember the kid shows, his one-liners, like, and him and his damn chili hot dogs. Yes, I remember that. Never even knew chili hot dogs were a thing. I was like, that's made up. And then I found out they were real.
Yeah, no, Sonic is not a particularly interesting character. But that's fine, because Uganda Knuckles and Dr. Robotnik are.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes a single character can really carry a show or movie. Especially if they take a nice large predominant role.
All we need to know is that it may have saved Sir Jim Carrey from his paintings. And thank God for that.
But it's truly, if he's gonna go back into it, regress back into his formal state. If he gets out of acting again.
Well,
Hopefully it's just a...
we'll have to see. We'll have to see. He does have some interesting ideas. Again, you know.
My goodness. We'll find out, though. Because I mean, he might have been a spur-of-the-moment thing. He said that because he was so appalled with the things that happened. But I also did see in chat that there were some interesting things people had said that the little lad had done. Things that paint a not-so-positive picture.
Well, he has made political drawings.
Yeah, I remember those. He's also allegedly, let me emphasize allegedly, was on the list of people who went to Epstein's Island.
Ah.
If true, that is not a good thing.
Well, I mean, judging by his political position,
Yeah,
he might very well be in the target group.
I kind of hate that it's really like that simple. It's like, oh, which way do you lean? Ah, you're probably a pedo. What the fuck? What has Lord Society come to?
See, at least it makes people easy to identify, okay? There's a benefit in all of this.
Yeah, silver linings and all.
There is. Nevertheless, Jim Carrey may be crazy, but it's so long as he can use that craziness to amuse me with Dr. Robotnik, I'm fine with it. It's okay. He's allowed to be crazy.
He has a crazy card. From Arch, it says, he's like, you have my permission to be a little bit unhinged, but only a little bit.
It's okay. Now, let's see here. Dante Williams donates $2 without a message, so again, either removed or Susan. Gabriel Nartier, have you looked at the Edge of the Galaxy Star Wars RPG system? No, I have not. It sounds Star Warsy. I don't want to go to I don't want to go to the Star Wars hotel. Okay, that sounds bad. We'll go to the Star Wars hotel only when Kyle will pay for it, because at least then I can just be like, ha.
What? You should pay for it. You're the wealthy one. Also, when we go to the Star Wars hotel, we're gonna return, but without Arch, because Arch will have been taken into their child trafficking ring.
That is the problem, isn't it? They're running entertainment primarily for children, whilst also trafficking primarily children.
It's easy. You get a fresh supply of diverse children, exotic children, from everywhere in the globe. Oh my god, it's horrific.
Primark asks, have either of you guys seen the Expanse TV series? I have. It's not bad. The first season is, though. It's bad. Very bad.
I've seen parts of it. I remember the part where the guy's head like pops off and his blood's being sucked out the little hole.
Part of the Expanse is pretty good. Other parts of the Expanse is pretty bad.
Yeah, here it's kind of all over the place.
Trucking Joe says, hey Arch, I've been getting some of the other truckers out here to follow you as well. Your stuff on the hey woo woo is spot on. Well, the hey woo woo is it's a bad thing. What can I say?
It is bad.
At least I'm not getting attacked by CBS for it, so that's okay then.
Not yet. It's true. It might come for us next. You never know. Gonna rack up that victim points.
The attention.
I welcome the attention. That's true. Because then you can go around on loudspeakers and be like, I'm being attacked by a large mega corporation, and all it does is just kind of make you look good.
Plus, if they block me fully, I won't have to watch another episode of The Quan Show.
Well, that's kind of good. You know, I'm seeing a silver lining here, you know? Maybe we won't have to endure season 2. We need to get bigger. Quan. Poor Quan, my ass. More like, Quan, get off the screen, Quan! Oh my god, the entire episode was a Quan episode! Oh!
Just how things will have to be sometimes, Kyle. Sometimes you get Halo, sometimes you get Quan.
Her taking the center of the screen is, and like for a 5-minute like session of the story, is already bad. Her being the main character for an entire arc on an episode is insufferable.
I hope she's lesbian too.
God, I hope so. Just all
I want
the
to see
check
the
marks.
Quan romance plotline.
She'd be like, actually, I like you, gun grease girl. And she'd be like, actually, I like you, Quan. Let me put some gun grease in your hair.
No, I can already see this happening because both of them have really bad hairstyles. So they have this very passionate kissing scene where they're pulling at each other's hairs. Well, this will be great.
Like, the other girl's trying to pull at Quan's hair, but, like, you know, there's no hair on the side, so she's, like, fumbling for it. Like, oh, where is it?
Weird bicycle helmet.
That hairstyle is atrocious. I think it's culturally a Korean thing, or somewhere in Northeast Asia, if I remember right. I could be completely wrong, but it looks silly.
Maybe it's I don't think that's normal. No, it could be. That doesn't seem to be a normal Korean thing.
With the step
I've watched enough Korean fucking period dramas now to know they have stupid hats, but that's about it.
Maybe it's a steppe thing. Central Asia, steppe tribe, maybe. I'm not super acquainted with the steppe tribes.
Koreans weren't a steppe tribe.
I know. Now I'm shifting over to like Manchuria, Mongolia. You know.
Who cares about these people?
I'm trying to figure out where that hairstyle comes from. You're wandering off the
top again. Shame on you.
Northeast Asia would be Russia. Yeah, but Russia's in Asia.
Because like Russians or Koreans and they have weird hair.
Did you know there are Asian people living in Russia? Because it's wrong Asian. With you. Oh my god, shit. Like if
and much more importantly, check out this Korean hat. It's fucking stupid.
That is a hat. Why though? Look at it. It's like look at my hat. He looks very effeminate.
So it's a good question. I don't know why they have the weird ass hats, but they do. They have the weird ass hats. It's a thing.
Like if the top bit would expand out to encapsulate his head a bit more, it might look a little bit better. Oh my god. Make him take it off though. Like stop. Like give him a normal hat.
No. They have weird ass hats, and sometimes they attach dangly bits to the weird ass hat.
No wonder why Japan wanted to subjugate. No kidding. That might be a touchy subject.
I mean, if I was neighboring this, I'd probably be violent too, to be fair.
See, Japan went over there not to be mean to them. They made them take off their hats. Like, no more hats.
The Japanese battle cry was literally like, take off your fucking hat.
Take off the hat! Oh, I can see it now.
The Japanese victory speech is like, after many years of being provoked by you, we finally won.
Every time they look over to the coast, they see that hat, like, the glare.
Suddenly, all of those horrible crimes against humanity that Japan committed in the Second World War seem, if anything, somewhat understated.
It's almost... Oh no, that's too far. That's too spicy for YouTube. We can't do that.
That'll be a great episode for a historical show later. Was Japan's invasion of Korea an act of self-defense because stupid hats?
Was it justified? Look at these hats. And everyone's like, oh, those are atrocious. Like, yeah, maybe they did deserve what they had coming, but they don't tell them what they did, you know? And then they send them to Korea, and then the Koreans beat them.
There'd be a poll at the end, like, was it okay? Like, yeah, the hats were pretty bad.
You guys kind of had it coming. The Koreans just look at them like, what the fuck?
So traditional headdress. I know, but still.
Look at it. Take it off. Put it in the dumpster. Instead of book burnings, it'll be hat burnings.
They had another one too, which I don't know the name of, but these two gentlemen at the top here, they look like they have a pair of little testicles on the top of their head.
See, if you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have thought that.
Tiny little bunny ears.
Yeah, I like that better, like little bunny ears. But it also could be two little scrotums.
Two little scrotums.
Add a little bit of hair on it. That'd be great. God dang it! You ruined these hats. They already look silly now. Now it's just terrible. Also, the one at the bottom right is partially transparent. I think I can see the guy's hair.
Oh yeah, no, that's the point. The hats are supposed to be transparent, so you can see the little man bun at the top.
Why?
You can see that on the first picture I sent you too. You can very clearly see his man bun.
I didn't even try to look.
Well,
oh my god, you can see it. Why? It's like, look at my little man bun. It's very masculine. It says the man with all the makeup on his face. God damn.
Right. Now that we have put Korea in its place, this came about from a question about the Expanse TV show, by the way. But oh well, details. Or was it? No, there was truckers. That was it. Yes, Halo. Sujad, what do you think of the Hofstad crowing about the EU doing away with member state vetoes, making an EU army and trying to turn EU into a knockoff Soviet Warsaw Pact abomination? Well, see, the problem is that the EU was founded with Russia, and they were like, okay, we're going to have a system where we can work together, and we'll have to convince each other because all of the big member states have vetoes. The only way we can get anything done is via diplomacy, which was a really good thought, and it worked. Like, it got us through the Cold War without it going live, though that was also in large part due to good old-fashioned nukes as well. But it worked. The problem is that right now, the EU is just a supranational governmental body. And in that case, well, the tyrants aren't particularly happy that some people can stop their tyrannical plans whenever they want to. Though, again, Russia tends to not block most of EU shit because they're just like, this will screw them over. And yeah, they're right. It will screw us over.
Damn.
The only good answer to the EU is to just fucking destroy all of it. We don't need the EU. The EU is pointless. And we definitely don't need no goddamn EU army.
The EU army march. And then they have like a weird little song, but none of them can sing it because it's in 7 different languages.
The EU must be dismantled, not expanded.
What are you, Arch? Were you not a fan of the HRE? He's like, yeah, it was a bit cringe, really. That's basically what it is. The Germans tried the Holy Roman Empire. Didn't work. Now they tried the Holy European Empire. Didn't work either.
And I'm sure once this plot fails, they'll try something else. But until next time, we'll hopefully have a few years of peace again.
Until next time, there'll be more war crimes.
Jack Lowe says, to be fair, Arch, we got people who believe and argue that Numenor was a spacefaring civilization. Why not?
What? Okay. I've heard somebody tell me that the Romans had been a spacefaring civilization. And I was like, okay. And then I just sort of didn't really engage with them.
To be fair, you haven't watched enough Ace Ventura to have an opinion on this matter.
What? I don't know if this is particularly selling this idea to me.
Maranga 2, Kibbs, and not all of the assets are available in his Discord.
Yep, that's what I expanded upon for Maranga 2. Now Maranga 2 owes us. He can no longer bring up that tabletop game again. Meanwhile, he's typing.
The Grizzly, would you guys ever do a tabletop simulator stream? If so, what tabletop would you do? No, never.
Never ever. It's not like we've done it before.
Maybe when I get actual internet, then I can do it for funsies, shit and giggles.
One day.
Jano Zizix, hello, our fluffy overlord and his pet. I wish you a very pleasant evening. Thank you, sir. You as well. Glow in the Dark, there is this game called Legends of Terrestia. Don't trust Kibbs. Don't know this person. Review, I hear they may be connected to the developer.
There's a review? I didn't know that.
I don't think anyone is going to review it, though.
Right in the balls, though.
So Jard, peeved Pedro, will stick his head underground and go back to uncritically supporting the woke tards that are torpedoing all his favorite franchises. Yeah, that's one of the problems I also have with Joe, I would imagine. See, I haven't watched the reviews, so I can't know for sure, but I would very much so think that he would watch that and be like, I just don't know why this is happening. It's like,
how could this happen to me?
He must live in a very interesting universe. It's just like, I don't understand. Why is there nothing but crap on the television? Petty Planter Missionary says, The Hunt for Red October was a great movie too. Well.
Was it, though?
Well.
You don't sound so convinced.
I do think Kyle needs to see The Hunt for Red October. I do agree with that.
I have seen that. It's good.
Oh, there you go. It is a pretty damn good movie. It is, but my God. I don't know whether to be impressed or disappointed by the fact that Sean Connery doesn't even fucking try to sound Russian.
Yeah, as a little kid, I didn't really understand. So I was like,
He
oh, yeah,
doesn't even attempt.
That's what Russians sound like. And then I grew up. Like, what is they have so many accents over there?
It's just weird. Like he doesn't give the faintest shit at all, and it's kind of endearing. Oh, who even knows? There was another one too, about one of those damn little Russian subs. Ah, yes, K19, The Widowmaker. That one was really good too. Highly recommend K19, The Widowmaker. That was a really good movie. That was a very good movie. Mark James. So, Dave Chappelle's Attacker got released with all charges dropped. Now he's suing Dave for his arm and other injuries. You're joking me.
Wait.
You are kidding me.
That's the guy with the arm that snapped, right?
You are kidding me.
How?
Attacker isn't facing felony charges. Holy fuck. Why not?
The guy attacked him, though, right?
Let's see. I just found like the first article on fucking Google. Quote: Dave Chappelle is upset his alleged armed attack. Alleged. I mean, we have video footage of that. Wasn't hit with a felony charge after holding a weapon on stage. What the fuck? How?
Wait, he was coming at him with a gun with a knife mounted?
No, like the gun is fake. The gun is fake, but the knife blade is not.
Yeah, that's murderous intent, I'd say. Very much.
How the fuck is he not up on charges for that?
That is definitely premeditated. See, I was like, oh, Dave Chappelle like had an attacker. I guess I was thinking like the dude just like tried to lunge at him or something and punch him. I didn't know he tried to stab him. Jesus.
And like no, like Dave Chappelle handled it like an absolute boss and basically beat the shit out of him immediately. Like
good job.
It was beautiful. Like it was actually beautiful. He sidestepped the fucker, put him in the floor right off the bat. Like he did everything correct in that instance. But he still came at him with a knife. Like, how the hell?
That is
So he was accused of 4 counts: battery, possession of a weapon. What? 4 misdemeanor charges: battery and possession. Really? You charge at someone with a knife and you get hit with a battery attack? Oh God, America, fucking yeah.
I don't.
Sure.
What state did this take place by chance?
I don't know. Blah 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 blah.
Where they found each other?
George, city attorney.
L.A. It says. Wait, he added, entertainers in L.A. need to know this is a justice system that will protect them. There is no question here. When someone violently is assaulted in other possession of a deadly weapon, that it should be charged as a felony.
No questions. Like, this isn't a fucking misdemeanor.
Yeah, LA,
running at
Los
someone
Angeles.
with a knife is not a misdemeanor. God, that is retarded. Like, that is actually straight up retarded. Right, so basically, there appears to be an activist district attorney, and that's what happened here. That the district attorney was the one who lined up the charges, and clearly he's sympathetic to this guy's political cause, because he apparently attacked Chappelle for his transphobic jokes.
That's the thing, okay? That shit pisses me off. So you have a judge, or not, sorry, judge, a district. What was the fuck is the position called again? I already fucking. Either way, you've got a politicized person in power where they are biased and putting their opinions on there, like, oh, he tried to kill somebody that was of the opinion I don't like. Well, he should, obviously get a second chance. I think that person should be tried for the exact same crime.
In my opinion, if you as a legal professional, as a district attorney or a judge,
district attorney,
if you fuck up to this degree, your job is lost. Like I am very radical on the judge and the district attorney and like official prosecutor thing. If you push for false charges and it's revealed like they're false charges, or you sentence someone incorrectly, and it's very clear that you did so out of either malice or incompetence, you lose your job and you should be punished for it. Like I hate the current system where judges and prosecutors and defenders have no responsibility whatsoever. I fucking loathe it.
Yeah, that's
That's the thing. We recently had a thing over here as well, where there was a massive miscarriage of justice, where a man was convicted of murder, and the evidence against him was awful. Like, it was nothing but circumstantial. There was no true evidence that he'd done it. He was convicted, he was put in jail, where he stayed for like 30 years, and it was finally proven conclusively that he couldn't have done it via DNA. And he was convicted on incredibly shaky grounds. Like, if that happens, not only does the judge lose a job, he goes to jail for the exact same period. That's my position on that. Fucking extreme. Screw it. Like, if you... God damn, that pisses me off so much. Oh... I fucking hate that. I hate that so much. Yeah. It's one of those things that really genuinely does trigger me, because this is our legal system here. If you allow any kind of politics, this is what I mean too. Judges should not be interpreting the law. I fucking hate that argument. No, if it's not a crime as written, the law is either needs expanding or redefining. You have no right to interpret. I fucking hate the legal system.
Yeah. That's fucked.
But yeah, no, this is a travesty. An actual fucking travesty.
I mean, hopefully it gets thrown out, right? Like, it's not like it can't be, right?
It can't. It's the district attorney who determines the charges. Dave Chappelle would now have to sue him. Because he's already pressing charges, but the district attorney has decided to not take up those charges.
Honestly, it's hard to even find words. It's just terrible. Like, that person should be punished. And the attorney who's responsible for this, should also be punished. That is an absolute miscarriage of justice there.
Yep. That's awful. That is absolutely awful. All right, moving on. Gola82 says Sonic the Soy Hog. Yeah, goddamn it. I don't even know how they'd fix Sonic, because Sonic's character is pretty true to Sonic. It's just that Sonic's not that funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's funny. He's amusing for kids. That's why Robotnik probably is a bit more. Maybe because the character was also written for the adults. Most kids shows and kids movies, if the writers are competent, they actually write for both children and they write for adults. That's why there's multi-layered levels of humor, right? They have the kid jokes and the kid entertainment, and then there's the jokes that would go above a kid's head, generally. Because they normally write them with the expectation that their parents are going to be there too. And they want them to try to be entertained so that they aren't opposed to seeing it as well.
Yep. Maybe Sonic needs a little updating. Just at least in his
just a pinch
joke repertoire. Maybe just a little pinch. Or just a little bit. I don't even know how you would do it though. Mark shamed Hollywood. Wait, making a video game movie about a video game is more successful than making a video game movie that is not about video games? Shocking surprise indeed.
My God.
It is a lesson that Hollywood has still to learn, however. And I doubt they'll do so now. A Space Monkey 0899 says, Arch, Knuckles is an echidna, not a hedgehog. I don't care. It's a hedgehog. Simple. Plus, Knuckles does not look like an echidna, okay? He looks like a hedgehog. It's fine. Not that Sonic looks like a hedgehog either, mind you, but eh. Marked ashamed. Careful, Kibbs. Arch might not be in the jurisdiction of the DGB, but you are.
Why? Would you do that to me?
Kyle will be hauled off to jail and beaten for disrespecting the fair and unbiased legal system of his nation.
All around me are familiar war crimes. But in this case, peace crimes, right? Because we're in peace.
IDW says, for the Kyle Barch Galactic Star Cruiser, Honeypot Crescent Moon Fund.
Honeypot Crescent Moon Fund.
IDW is a weird creature.
IDW is weird.
Shall be ignored?
Yes.
Sujad, Taiwan is a legitimate country, and the Taiwanese government has more legitimate claim to the proper government of mainland China than the CCP. Luckily, I'm not a VTuber, so that isn't going to harm me. Sandu, potentially good news, a US Senate has introduced legislation to end Disney's copyright protection on their many properties. Mouse will learn its place. Good. The mouse deserves to have all of its stuff taken away from it. Iman gameplay. So, Parch and Kibbs, I remember so many of the R Total War simps saying it'll be fine because CA is in DICE. Oh, they're eating their words right now. I doubt they are. They're probably thinking like, well, it was kind of fine. I enjoyed it. I hate that justification, by the way. The older I've become, the more I have arrived at the far leftist position of no, not your body, not your choice. If you think Total War Warhammer 3 is fun, you're going to have to go in the cages. I'm sorry, but it's the only way.
It's time for you to pay for your crimes. It's like, oh,
yep.
Okay.
Like, again, it's unfortunate, it's unfair, but we're going to have to institute corporal punishment in this regard. For the good of all.
It's for our own protection as much as your own.
Yes, for the people. Periplant Missionary, California. Enough said, you guys. California, indeed.
Yeah, sad.
Octo Greg, what would you two's opinion be of someone making fit femboy Kibbs and hunky bara Arch fan art? Kyle has already commissioned that previously, so I'm sure he'll fine with it.
False. And secondly, fan art is fan art. If you want to make it, you knock yourself out. But some things maybe don't need to be sent to us. They can be kept private, perhaps. See, that hurts my philosophy, because it's like, fan art is always great, no matter what it is. But then you get stuff like that, it's like, well, with exceptions, of course. Tragedy.
Glowy says, are you ready for the Nintendo Cinema Universe? It can be like the MCU, just imagine it. Or are you ready for Pablo Halo movies, 1 to 6? I hope they don't reboot Lara Croft films to flat-chested Lara or something. They were kind of decent for gay movies. Ah, the Lara Croft movies.
Those were interesting. I can't remember them, actually. I remember the monsters.
They weren't awful. We're talking the Lara Croft Tomb Raider now, mind you, not the not like the rebooty stuff, or the one with what's her fucking face? I don't even know. But anywho, she was an actor who did actor things some point back in the day. And she did fairly good. Like, the Tomb Raider movies are not bad. Lara is a sassy, rich, self-entitled Tomb Raider with enormous titties. And she dresses like she does in the goddamn movies. They weren't bad. They were stupid. Oh God, were they stupid. But they were quite true to what they were trying to be. So I quite like them.
My God. I don't remember them. I remember the actress had big lips.
Well.
That's the actress with the big lips and forehead.
You have remembered something. This is good.
I remember there were monsters in one of them, and they ate people. And there was like a winter scene where a dude got sacrificed, and his blood filled up the little tracks that activated the thing.
But why?
And then he died.
But why?
I think that's the movie, right?
But why?
Happens.
Here, like this here, and this is an excellent example of a movie made for the franchise and a movie made
Angelina
for
Jolie.
the little Hollywood cocksucks. Okay, so
Hollywood
here,
cocksucks.
here is Angelina Jolie from the first Tomb Raider movies.
She's ancient by now, but Jesus Christ, they were going hard on the sex appeal, like insanely so. So much so that if you look carefully on her design, you can actually see nips. They were not holding back.
No. And to be fair, if I was going to be casting anyone to be Lara Croft, that's pretty fucking spot on, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here, a slightly more face picture. That's pretty much spot on what I would think Lara Croft would look like. Meanwhile, in the 2018 reboot, allow me to present you with the modern version of Lara Croft.
What the fuck? They made another one? Lol. What the heck is that? Generic white
That's
woman.
a man.
That's a man?
Of course. Look at his chest.
Oh my god, is it a man?
I think so.
I can't tell. Now I'm questioning. See, I looked at the face. I'm like, I see some traits, and then, but now the uncertainty setting in. It could be a dude.
This is the perfect example of the new and the old. Back in the day, they went, okay, Lara Croft is a sexy fucking character. She's supposed to be a sexy character, so we're gonna find a sexy actress. Now it's like, those toxic white men are not our audience, so we're gonna cast this young boy here as Lara Croft.
Yeah, that's weird. Honestly, it doesn't. I don't even recognize the actress.
Probably because this was her one and only role in history.
Look at Disco Shark. Where Booba? True. Where'd Booba go? Oh my god, where'd Booba go? I lost the one with Booba.
Booba disappeared.
Booba gone. Okay,
Let's say the actress's name is Alicia Vikander, and
never heard of him.
yeah, this is pretty much the biggest thing she's ever been in. Apparently, they've announced Tomb Raider 2. They did this years ago, and it's just never been talked about. So
I imagine the plug was pulled, if I had to guess, and hope maybe.
Yeah, she hasn't worked much since. Well, there you go. Should have had bigger titties. Tragedy, to be sure. Yet a deserved one.
Yeah. That's quite terrible.
And Chloe says, Kib's Queen of Uganda Knuckles, Queen of the Retards. She knowed her way. Spit on her. Lubricate her up. Oh, disgusting.
That's quite horrifying, yes.
Awful. Absolutely filthy. And at the end, Marked Ashamed says, I'll just leave this here. I have been, for the past... syntax. I'll just leave this saying, I have been for the past years. In the 2020s, the cops are the criminals are the victims, and the victims just had it coming. See, I'm not quite there, but the entire legal system needs a massive revamp. Like the immunity of judges, and to an extent, like district attorneys and prosecutors, it makes sense if you can assume the honor of the people in charge. Like, this is why you refer to the judge as your honor. Like, he is supposed to be the highest authority. He's supposed to have morals and principles. He's supposed to be a neutral arbiter. He is supposed to simply apply the law as he understands it. The problem is, that's not what we have anymore. We have far too many judges who thinks it's their job to just hand down a judgment, regardless of what. And they will happily go with sketchy evidence far too often. Like in a certain recent case in America, for example, with a certain police officer who was convicted for murder despite having literally followed exactly what the police handbook says.
Yeah. Oh, man. See, March, look at it this way, okay? We have these principles, these morals, but these things are just ideas, right? We don't need to have them, right? Instead, we can just let things be arbitrarily decided on however you feel one day. Like, I don't like people with brown hair. I think people with brown hair will be guilty today, This is a fair and balanced system of randomosity. You're not quite sure who's going to get the shit into the stick. Look at that. Fixed all the problems, March. What do you think?
I think you don't deserve to be around.
You say, I don't like you. That's right. Be sad, Arch. Got more supers. Just sit there.
I don't know if I have time for it. I'm looking through V's timeline, just the millions of VTubers he's retweeting. I might be busy.
You might be busy blocking V. Damn.
Screaming demon cat. There you go.
What?
Very well then, Glow in the Dark. Glow in the Dark says Chappelle gets almost stabbed, then gets charged for violence. I hate duty to fleece states and activist judges. Well, yeah, that's the problem too. Like, in quite a few states and countries, you can actually be charged with a criminal felony for defending yourself, which is
you should
brilliant.
have died. Yes, I know Britain's that way. I remember Brit Bongistan, if I remember right. There was something about that not too long ago where a Brit Bong was like, I'm being murdered, saved himself, and then went to jail for it.
Mm-hmm. That does happen.
It's like, how dare you? You should have died. It's like, okay. You need to run. What if you're cornered? You need to run. What if you're gonna die if you run? You need to run. Run.
You can't hurt another human being, but he's trying to hurt me though. Don't care. Alrighty then.
Yep.
You arrive at somewhat of an impasse here.
It's the problem with this sort of ideology, if you will, or whatever you call it, morality, is that these people are like, we cannot hurt those who wish to hurt us, because then we become them. Thing is, if they're going to kill you, they don't really care, and if they kill you, then your morality didn't do you a whole lot, did it? Kinda dead.
If you ever find yourself thinking like a Canadian, maybe you should die.
Damn, look at that. Barnes is getting violent. Always with the murder.
The first thing that has radicalized me the most has been the online progressives. The second thing has been our legal system. There we go. That's my manifesto. And Viking Kiwi sneaks in at the end with a simple hi. Hello, Viking Kiwi. And with that, we will wrap up today's stream. Got it? Viking Kiwi says, my lord, if I may, could ask for your subject's hand in marriage.
It begins the Super Chat Wars.
Kyle would be sold for 50 Norwegian kronas.
Wow, so cheap. Cannot believe this.
And Genialicon, same in Cucknada. You'll be charged for attempted murder if your attacker breaks a nail. Yep, I heard of that. Again, which is why Canada was a mistake. A dreadful mistake for which we will pay for it even to
the
this very
attacker
day.
sues the fucking family of the person he murdered because the person who he murdered, like, he bruised himself while stabbing him. He's like,
well, it's what is happening with Dave Chappelle now. Like, his attacker is suing him because he defended himself, which is just beautiful. Absolutely fucking beautiful.
it is absurd.
Then again, like, Dave Chappelle was already beginning to be a little bit like, listen here, like, I'm gonna moderate myself. I don't hate all progressives. I'm just gonna make some jokes at their expense. Right. get sued by the Californian legal system for defending yourself against a knife-wielding attacker, and we'll see if you won't radicalize those jokes a bit. Maybe this was a deepfake operation. Maybe this was actually staged.
Well, look at that.
How do we radicalize Dave Chappelle? Well, we try to stab him. Bit harsh, but all right.
Bit harsh. I feel like the operative who got assigned to that got the shit on the stick, or is damn well dedicated. Arm snafu backward. He's like, floppy.
We need to do the same to Chris Rock, so get on it. Have him be sued by California, and then he'll get on board as well.
It was like, actually, California's kind of disgusting. It's like, yes, it is.
Wow, this is awful.
We can give it back to Mexico. It turns out we didn't want it after all.
Mexico just screams.
It's fine. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Maybe they'll get in
Mexico
more civil
doesn't
wars.
Want to stop screaming.
I missed that era of Mexico after talking with Boog, the one where they had a century's worth of civil wars.
Mark James says, don't call the progressives, call them progs. They don't like that, it's true. And Glow in the Dark says hello, chat. And Joaquin Kiwi says good night.
Frog sounds like frog.
It's also invented by Dev. I don't like giving Dev credit for things.
Dev credit? I don't think so.
Hello, Glow in the Dark, says Joaquin Kiwi. Now, that will be the end, you sneaky little bastards. Until next time, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. God damn it. Okay, fine, so John, that's okay. Direct proof that leftists trying to push black on black violence. True. Now, have a good night.